What's going on, everybody? This is James We're Mass Effects Boyce, and you're here for another Facts Project review. Today, we are going to be covering Lost Fantasy Issue 2 for Image Comics, of course, written by Curt Pires, artwork done by Luca Casalanguida, colorist Mark Dale, and lettering done by Micah. Now, if you remember, we talked about the summary of this basically in Issue 1. In 1906, there was a great San Francisco earthquake that revealed a world beneath us called Terra, and people called it the Great Awakening. There was pretty much at the end of World War I, because it was a battle that ensued between Earth and Terra, and what they did was enable borders, or better yet, guardians, around the globe. That was borders between the worlds of Terra and Earth. At the end of World War I, there was the Obsidian Agreement that pretty much emboldened that there would be no type of interruption between both worlds, all the while that both worlds still exist. So what had happened, or how this basically pretty much sets up, one of the Guardians was named Cyrus Blackheart, and he took in a child that is pretty much the protagonist in this series by the name of Henry Blackheart. Henry and Cyrus are, of course, protectors here on Earth. They work for the FBI as a special division, or as they're calling it, but they are, of course, they're based on the particular events of this agreement at the end of World War I, because if there are any interruptions between Terra, Cyrus and Henry, or better yet, some of the other members that are consistently around the globe, are there to act on it. And at the end of issue 1, there was an incident to where a bunch of party goers in the middle of Montana were ripped to shreds. Henry is the one that pretty much has to go out there and check on things. All the while, he finds a creature out there that he has to dismantle as an operative. But at the end of issue 1, there seems to be someone that has taken out a hit on Henry, to where he's particularly just sniped in the side of the head. And by the end of issue 1, you're kind of thinking to yourself that Henry's completely out of play. But when we come to find out at the beginning of issue 2, because the cover kind of reveals itself, it's the sniper that took out Henry. And what it reveals is a little bit more about Terra than what we think. The sniper himself, his name is Elu, and what he has, or what is his particular set of skill, is ballistomancy, to where with extreme focus, if he fires any shot from his gun, if he has extreme focus, he will never miss. Through these first couple pages, you come to find out that when Henry was shot at, didn't necessarily hit the target full force. It may have completely grazed him or maimed him a little bit, but it did not take him out. All the while, Elu is, of course, working as a freelancer with this young lady by the name of Val. And Val had a relationship with Henry. Even though she has this particular target in mind and does not mind the fact that she's probably going to make some money off of this target, she has a little bit of a last-second change of heart. And this leads to Elu missing in the long run. Come to find out, there's a little bit of a cover-up that's happening in the town, where this whole issue of all these party goers getting killed and this monster, of course, arriving in this town are now being answered by the local law enforcement. And it seems, for the most part, because Henry is taken out of play, they had to send another operative in. So what Cyrus does, because he's trying to aid Henry in the hospital, is he sends this other operative by the name of Nilas. And Nilas seems to be a bad brother. He is helped with the aid of a mystical polar bear that is pretty much looking into the same events that Henry was looking into in issue 1, and trying to find out exactly what happened. Is there particularly going to be an invasion that is going to happen in these upcoming issues between Terra and Earth? At the end of the day, it seems as though Henry and Cyrus don't have the relationship that they used to. Henry, of course, was found by Cyrus a very long time ago, and he was, for the most part, adopted by Cyrus. It's not his biological son, but he has been asked time and time again for Cyrus to tell him the whole truth, and that pretty much Cyrus is telling them that it's not that simple and that they don't really talk. But at the end of the day, when I'm talking about that, like, Nilas is on the case. It's probably like their best operative. He's like an ultimate detective. What's happening around this town is that the humans that are up here on Earth are now changing somehow to where Nilas is attacked and basically ravaged throughout this town. And out of nowhere, through this little like cane that he has, the brother pulls out a lightsaber and is trying to take out this human that basically turned into a gorilla and is doing a damn good job. Now, the lightsaber, I was like, where did this come from? But aside from Nilas basically having this particular battle with this now man ape, it turns out that Henry helps him out in this. So Blackheart and Nilas are now working together in all of this. And it seems as though there is mind control at play, not only with the local law enforcement, not only with Nilas, but there's this gentleman in a red hood that is basically pulling the cards and putting like a particular worm in people's heads so that they're either changing up or they're not seeing exactly what they need to see. The grand scheme of things are now being controlled. This ultimately leads to another battle directly outside of the one that Nilas just had between Henry and Nilas at the end of issue 2. But I'm looking forward to this. I want to see exactly, not only because of the cover-up that's happening in this town and how this is pretty much going to ensue, but if this agreement that not a lot of people agreed on when there was the borders that were pretty much stricken between both worlds, if there's a means and a ways, either politically or through a cover-up of something pretty bad that might happen, how will an invasion actually proceed if they do this in the long run? But I look forward to this. I will be covering this in totality going into issue 3 next month. But of course, feel free to check us out here at the Facts Project and look for more into Lost Fantasy here on the channel.